Hey there, do you feel that sometimes the headlines are a bit too quick to jump to conclusions? Well, you're not alone. And this is why I started this newsletter and series of video about weekly causal insights. So in a world where correlations are often used for causation leading to manipulation, to misinformation, it is time to cut to the noise. In this series, I'm going to analyze the latest and most trendy news with causal analysis and with those tools. I'm going to dissect and share with you those tools such that you can as well better question the world, the news, separate facts from fictions, and make better decisions. This series will be available on LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So let's connect and make better decisions together. Influencers have never been more important for electoral politics. In the seasons of US elections, this discussion about the role of influencers is on the forefront. Certainly, influencers play an important role in shaping public opinion, in particular when we see Elon Musk or other very famous figures taking part into the election process, sharing content on social media. However, it is one thing to observe more investment, it is another to assume that there is a bigger impact. Indeed, where a signal, where something, a treatment is higher, it does not necessarily translate into bigger consequences or higher effects, or at least not necessarily proportionally. In particular, for influencers, potentially many that follows have the same political views, and we know that in politics, the most important things is to change the mind of swing voters, the people that are uncertain, and hence it is unclear what will be the net effect, and if the bigger investment translates in a significantly larger impact. The Australian breakdancer Reagan received a lot of backlash after her performance at the Olympic Games in Paris. And this article kind of suggests that the backlash was caused by the unorthodox moves that she used. While this might be a cause, it will be interesting to go deeper and understand if this was really the cause or the underlying necessary condition was the fact that the technicality was too low, the complexity was too low, the performance was of a lower quality to pin down what was the true cause. Virtually anything is multifactorial, and hence pinning down one cause does not invalidate the others. And sometimes you have one core cause that is really the driver. And hence, to address this, studying historical use of unorthodox moves, potentially qualitative interviews of different independent judges, will allow to understand if it was rather about the quality or if there is reluctance for change in this community. That will shed light if it was rather about the quality or the peculiarity of the performance. The attacks in Russia by Ukraine have the potential to erode Russian support for Putin, an expert said. So in this article, they basically study the fact that the recent attacks of Ukraine on Russian territory would erode Putin's position. While this claim is quite natural, the magnitude of this effect and the certainty is unknown. Without evidence, it remains just an opinion, and the opposite could be argued. Due to these attacks, Putin's position is reinforced because the population now wants to protect themselves against another country. In particular, the effect is unclear in a country where the media are heavily controlled by the state, and hence the information that goes to the population is not necessarily objective, complete, and the effect is unknown. Even if the effect might seem obvious, it is necessary to use causal inference to properly assess those effects. Hence, studying public opinion, what was the content in the news at the time, potentially change in the rhetoric of Putin afterwards, will be interesting to get more insights into the effect of those attacks on public opinion. Everybody's chasing power, and nothing will give you more power than military and AI. This is a claim by Mark Cuban. Mark is a famous American investor with a net worth of several billions. And as usual, for some reason, people who have a lot of money receives a lot of credits. But humans are diverse. The world is complex. And if you have a little bit of common sense and knowledge about the world, there are very few things that are absolute. So if in one sentence I hear everybody's and nothing will, such absolute term, it's fishy and it will trigger my senses to question and to think about the potential heterogeneity. It might be true for some people, it's most certainly not for others. What is the average effect? What is the median effect? What is the distribution of the people on those topics? So bringing at least a little bit of evidence to back it up, at least slightly. So OpenAI said that they caught some Iranian action and influence on social media to affect public opinion in the US. But, and I cite, the majority of social media posts that we identified received few or no likes, shares or comments, so very low interactions. And hence in the article they questions if this will have any effect because those posts that were captured had very low reach. But the key here is that we don't observe the truth. A difficulty when we work with crime is that we don't observe the complete data set. We just observe the people who get caught. And usually the people who get caught are the ones with the less sophisticated strategies. This is what we call a measurement error. And typically in this kind of situation, it makes us underestimate the potential impact because we don't realize the full magnitude of the effect as we just have one part of the picture and a biased part, biased towards the lowest quality of those interventions, of those criminal interventions. So when working on crimes, it's very important to assess the quality of the data, to question the potential measurement errors and how it might affect the decision. Expert opinion, domain knowledge might help to assess the magnitude of the risk, and sometimes other type of data help to fill the gap and get a sense on the size of this problem.